this is now to record. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to put up a barrier for the night. So, because last night I was assaulted so hard to my head, I basically spent half the day, I could feel the top of my head damaged from the assault from these degenerate psychopaths just shooting. So I had to build this. I had to do this in Rotterdam as well, in the Rotterdam hotel, because there was also brutally assaulted. So here it is, now in the UK. The second night where I have to bunker down. I can't do it quite so well as at home. But anyway, so this is the sort of thing you have to do. I put the side table up here just to hold it. But of course at night you're breathing in aluminium, which is not very good. And then I have to sleep with literally this to prevent this from happening. Otherwise they will literally just maim you in your sleep. That's how degenerate they are. That is now our ironically named security and intelligence services maiming their own scientists. It takes some level of fucked up stupidity, but literally MI5 has reached it with flying colors. Okay, so just not to be mutilated again, and I can't wrap myself entirely in aluminium, so they can give you breast cancer, rectal cancer, anything, right? But literally today I was struggling so hard after the abuse of last night. I have to literally do this because the British intelligence services have gone degenerate, right? Here, along with every other intelligence agency in Europe. They're all just one organization, really. But this is what it means. This is how you have to sleep at home in a hotel. And now I was assaulted in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam, in Varese in Italy, here in London, now here in Manchester, in Zurich, in Hamburg, in the south of Germany, in Munich, everywhere, right? So this is a European program. This is the European maiming and murder program run by the dumbest and most corrupt people the intelligence agencies managed to scrape from the bottom of society. Isn't this stupid? Isn't this like the most stupid, fucked up thing you've ever seen in your life? Having utter gibbering retards being given little microwave ovens to mutilate their own top scientists. They are mutilating women who skipped a year at school, came top of their year, went to Oxford, got a first, got a PhD, became fellows at Oxford, have then tried to help society in medical physics. I've tried to help society by starting a startup and getting poor people into work, and now trying to help society by making our systems less psychopathic and more efficient. And you have people like that being maimed and murdered by utter degenerates, morons, psychopaths, and perverts in the ironically named intelligence agencies. Isn't this amazing? This is now October 2016, and our security services have reached a level of degeneracy that is just unknown, right? I mean, the Gestapo was also pretty good at murdering highly educated people, right? So now MI5 has reached the level of intelligence of the Gestapo. That's what intelligence agencies mean. It is low intelligence services, really. I guess they probably just missed a couple of letters. But that is now the end result, right? That is what scientists all across Europe now have to do. Dr. Munzet has to do this. He has to shield himself from assaults. This is University of Erlangen professor, right? Dr. Catherine Horton, Oxford, ex-Oxford fellow, has to shield herself from a bunch of degenerate morons. Isn't this amazing? Isn't this, I mean, wow, right? We have Alex Younger and Andrew Parker residing over an organization paying the dumbest, sickest, most corrupt and most fucked up people in the country to go around mutilating women. Right? This is what it means. What they did last night is to mutilate innocent, defenseless women. Right? And we know from the US statistics that 70% of the victims are female. So what this is, well, if it was just, if it were national security, a really messed up version, you would expect the vast majority of victims to be male. If it were just human experimentation, you would expect male, female to be 50-50, right? Because you want to collect data on these so-called non-lethal weapons on both genders. But it isn't. 70% of victims are women. So what this means is that there's a definite sexual element in this. So what we have is the low intelligence services mutilating women for the sake of a wank. Right? That is what it comes down to. Here it is now. I mean, all the men who are involved in this can be so proud of themselves for fucking up their own country and murdering and maiming the people who are trying to make their own country better. I mean, that deserves a Nobel Prize, doesn't it? Really. To come into a hotel room, check in next to a woman, and then mutilate her. Wow, right? For nothing. Not even realizing she's actually trying to help your country become more efficient and more prosperous and more healthy, wealthy, everything. No, you're just going to sit there with a fucking little microwave transmitter and mutilate her in her sleep because your boss told you so, and you're too fucking stupid to ever ask the question of, boss, why the F are we doing this? Right? Here it is now, Manchester. They must have hired the thickest local people they can find to pull this off. But it takes some believing. Here, today, again, MI5 has done it again. So here we are, just to show you what you have to do. By the way, you know how the Apollo moonlanders have this stuff, the shiny stuff on? That is precisely because you have to shield the electronics equipment and everything inside from the radiation levels that are in outer space. So that's why it's the same material, because it works. It's a shielding material, okay? Right. So here we are. I'm going to bunker down again with this, right? Because I happen to be staying in a country where the security services are made up of dumb and perverted people. They're so fucking stupid. They can't even recognize or let alone repair their own out of control degeneracy. Right. So this is just to go up on record. I'm also writing the logbook to document the abuse, but here it is again. Right. And I'll have to use more aluminium to actually, try to, in vain, to protect myself. But that is the reality. This is what all the victims, all those scientists who are now being attacked by these psychopaths, this is what they have to do, right? This is what they have to do when they go on holiday. This is what they have to do at home, because the British state has gone full-on Gestapo. Okay? And the German state as well. This is not something specific to the British MI5. The German Bundesnachrichtendienst, well, the Bundesnachrichtendienst actually grew out of the Gestapo. So for them, it's not even a break with tradition. They have always been the Gestapo. But here we are, right? That's what it looks like. I've also reported the abuse to the police, which is like, well, talking about rocket science to kindergarten, teachers, which is, I might as well have saved myself the effort. But yeah, what to do with the country that has gone this degenerate, I don't know, because none of the police officers have even remotely the sort of skills to even get their head around the problem, let alone begin to even start to engage a brain cell in what the hell to do about it. On the other hand, MI5, military intelligence, and the military have the kit. They are using it. They know how to use it. They know its effects. They know its bio effects, and they know which people they are targeting. So the solution to this has to be that they, at some point, stop this bullcrap. I'm sorry, I'm just so angry now. I'm so angry because I am going to the court to talk to another whistleblower who, the more I actually look at what happened to them, the more I come to realize that his wife has been given breast cancer with these microwave weapons in a targeted fashion to take them out when they were financially at their most vulnerable, when they sent 3 boys to university. And the MOD, again, attacks the woman and gives her breast cancer. Isn't this amazing how our proud wankers in the military and so-called military intelligence go for the women? Isn't this amazing? They're such amazing men. They mutilate the women. Yeah? I mean, the local psycho creep does that with a lot less drain of taxpayers' money. But here it is. We've got MI5 mutilating women for the sake of a wank. Right? Because now by 2016, they must have figured out how these so-called non-lethal weapons work. But here they are, having a bit of fun for their local, little degenerates. Something for them to do, to remember how you can aim a microwave, transmitter onto an innocent woman. I mean, these people are so dumb, they probably have to practice it every week to be able to retain the skill so that eventually they can, irradiate a politician or a police officer who actually tries to stop this nonsense. I mean, you have to keep your little degenerates trained, otherwise, sorry. So this is another, I mean, just look at it and take it in. Take it in what the proud future looks like with these psychopaths running amok, right? I mean, half of MI5 and MI6 should be in the high security section of Belmarsh prison, right? They are psychopaths. Their brain is gone, irreparably. And that is the end result. You have the most valuable parts of your society who are really have high integrity, have high intelligence, high education level, and are trying to help your own society become better for free, essentially. You maiming them because they're female, and your proud military men need a wank, and they get on get off from mutilating women. Great. Here. Wow.